1,000 Union soldiers trained right here for the Civil War. 5% of all Ohio soldiers trained right here. Governor Todd at the time in 1862 walked right up this hill and took a 15-gun salute to celebrate their service and what they were about to enter. This place matters. The place here that we are in, Tremont, was originally known as University Heights. Yes, before there was a University Heights, there was a University Heights right here. Thanks to Tremont West and the team, we thank you for hosting us today. This place matters. So we are, again, the interpretive partner that helps interpret stories like this, like Camp Cleveland, and with nodes all along the towpath from here all the way down to New Philadelphia about why this place of national heritage matters. We are one of 2 national heritage areas in the state of Ohio, the other being in Dayton, celebrating aviation and Ohio's history, but we are celebrating ecology, industry, and the story of people. So, again, it's taken 35 years of work. Later today, I'm going to introduce one of the founding members of all this, Tim Donovan, who's going to tell you a little bit more about those 3 decades. But as one of 4 counties, Summit, Tuscarawas, Stark, and us in Cuyahoga, without further ado, let me thank and introduce to you Cuyahoga County Executive Armin Budish. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is really a great day, isn't it? For Cleveland and for Cuyahoga County. This is a great, great day. The completion of this trail, this is phase 4, and we're done with the trail. Still a lot more to do, but we're done with this trail, and it is great. 101 miles long. One of the longer trails in Ohio, one of the longer trails in the country. It really makes a difference. This trail opens up recreation opportunities for people in Cleveland and in Cuyahoga County and all the neighboring counties that Chris mentioned. It's really a wonderful, wonderful event today. So thank you for all of you who worked on this. I can't say enough. It makes a big, big difference. It's been a collaboration. You know, nothing gets done in this area if we don't collaborate and work together. And you had, Chris already mentioned a number of the groups and people that have worked together to make this happen. I especially want to thank NOACA. Grace Gallucci's here because, as Chris mentioned, it's a lot of money to make this happen, a lot of vision to make this happen, and NOACA went a long way to making this work. I also want to thank our Cuyahoga County Public Works Department. Really have done a great job. Mike Dever and Nicole English, and there's a whole group of people from Cuyahoga County that worked on this that are here today. Our project manager, Jessica French, and construction area engineer, Darwin Murtis, and others. Thank you all for your great, great work on this. My team wrote me a whole lot of stuff, and it's too hot to go through it all. So I will save you a lot of political talk, but again, you know, we have become a tremendous recreational community here in Cuyahoga County. This is part of that. I was talking to our prosecutor earlier, Mike O'Malley, who I wish I could bike ride as much as he does. I mean, you know, this is the sort of thing that brings people to Cuyahoga County, keeps people in Cuyahoga County, and really young people that we are trying to attract. This is what they're looking for, this kind of opportunity and event. So again, thank you all very much. It's really a great pleasure to be here and celebrate this 4th phase of the trail. Thank you.
Thank you, County Exec Budish. So I'm just going to give you a few facts as we talk about why we are here today. This is a 1.5-mile section. Overall, it's a part of a 90-mile stretch at this point that is contiguous. So the 1.5 miles that we're talking about begins up at Sokolowski's, works its way down the hill to the future Canal Basin Park. And I say that because we still have work to do on that capstone park at the north end of the Towpath Trail. So, our next speaker, Armin already alluded to, and that is Michael O'Malley. About a month ago, a team from the prosecutor's office came out on a rainy Saturday morning, and they went to work. 200 strong from the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office to clean up the Cuyahoga River at an event we call River Sweep. I said, Michael, it would be our honor to have you here today. We know you're a towpath rider. We also appreciate what you do to keep the Cuyahoga River clean. Mike O'Malley, our prosecutor from Cuyahoga County.
I'm really here as a bicycle advocate. My title may be prosecutor, but my passion is getting out on the road and riding. And for 3 decades, I rode the path south of Rockside, and I dreamed that it would eventually end in Cleveland. I used to put my bike on my back of my car in Old Brooklyn, and I'd drive to the parking lot on Rockside, and I would head south, and I would ride. And then eventually it ended, they started moving it a little bit northbound, and it ended behind Alcoa, and there was a little turnaround. And I think one day it's going to be to Cleveland. And then it ended at Old Harvard, and I thought one day it's going to end in Cleveland. And then we did a path along Scranton Peninsula, and I thought one day it's going to end in Cleveland. And here we are today. And I couldn't be more proud as a resident of this county that we have finally accomplished greatness. I've ridden the gap from DC to Pittsburgh, and I can tell you, our path blows it away. When you get into Pittsburgh, this one blows it away. But I don't think we should be finished here. I think every neighborhood in this county should have their connector. Kevin's here. I want to see a connector through Big Creek right to Old Brooklyn, so I didn't have to ride down Memphis, then Broadview, and down the Valley Road Hill. We need connectors. We're doing a great job along the Lakefront Trail. Great. We're heading it. We got the east side. We got the path through MLK. It's great. But we have to, as a community, continue to invest in our bike pathways. It's about quality of life. It's about park opportunities for our residents. And I think to myself, $54 million. It's really not all that bad for the benefit we all receive. We just got to keep, as a community, making this commitment and investing in our park opportunities and our bicycle trails. And again, I couldn't be more proud that all those hours I used to think, will it ever get to Cleveland? We're finally here. And to the bicyclists out here, my final words are, may the sun always be on your face and the wind be at your back. It's a great day in Cleveland. Thank you.
Thank you, Prosecutor O'Malley. Michael said it right, $54 million versus the return on the investment. 3 million people visit the Cuyahoga Valley National Park annually. We have that opportunity to have that visitor flow right up here from the National Park. Wanted to say that we are appreciative of our contractors who are out there today. Notably, I want to mention one particular, and that's Independence Excavating. Thank you for all you do, both here on the towpath and also in our river sweep annually. We appreciate you guys. Any other contractors out there, I just want you to raise a hand if you worked anywhere on this project, anything you did with it. Thank you very much. And key personnel, although there are many of you, Darwin Murdy's Department of Public Works, Jessica French, who was with this project for 9 years, Jamie DeRosa from the city of Cleveland, and Sarah Mayer from the Cleveland Metro Parks. I'm going to introduce a couple Metro Parks folks in a second, but let's give them a round of applause. And I don't want you to be bashful. If you worked on this project as a contractor or as a staff member in any of our public agencies, give a raise a hand. It takes a village, it takes a team. Thank you all. Thank you all. Countless hours went into this. Speaking of a person who puts countless hours into City Hall and making this place better every day, I see some of the former city planning staff out there, and I'm sure there's some current city planning, and once part of Cleveland City Planning, always a part of Cleveland City Planning. Here's Fred Collier, Director of Cleveland City Planning. Thank you.
How's everybody today? So when people see us as officials and we come to events and we represent the city or the county in our professional capacity, they tend to forget that we are residents first. And I want to give you some perspective from my experience with cycling and with the Towpath Trail. And I see my good friend Marty Cater up there. And I want to say thank you to Marty. I'm a kid who grew up on the east side of Cleveland. Well, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm 47 now, as of last week. But grew up on the east side of Cleveland. And I had a dirt bike. We did mischievous things in our neighborhoods. But it wasn't until I was about 40 years old, almost, where Jim Danick and Marty Cater said, Fred, why don't you come and take a ride with us? Now, I wasn't too enthused because it just wasn't my thing at the time, but they took me on the Towpath Trail. And it was my first experience in that type of pristine environment. And we rode about, I believe, 12 miles Now, being from the east side of Cleveland and not being an avid cyclist, 12 miles is like riding for a few days, and I paid for it. But I'm sharing this because what it did was it introduced a different world to me. And when it introduced that world to me, it became addictive. And now my family, my children, all of us, we ride regularly. And I'm sharing this story because this trail is not just about health and sustainability, which we know those are two hallmarks as to what we want to see our trail system provide for our residents. But what's most important is it's equitable. It's about connectedness. And through those relationships that I established at city planning and through the experience and the exposure, it introduced a world to me that I now could share with my kids and we share with our friends. So this Towpath Trail is much more about connecting people than connecting places and opportunities. And we at the City of Cleveland are committed to ensuring that we continue the work of not just completing the Towpath Trail, but to the gentleman's point earlier, really establishing a network that connects all Clevelanders to this spine of activity. Now, you heard a lot about the history, and I'm sure when Tim gets up here, he's going to tell you a lot more. And I just want to say thank you, Tim. When you talk about tenacity, this guy is tenacious. He's committed. And he's an advocate. And when he believes, he's fully committed. And I think it was Tim Donovan who always kept this front and center. So I just want to say thank you to everybody out there, Council President, Councilman McCormick, all your hard work that you guys put in every day, making decisions that are not popular, and making moves that we know are good for the community. And this is a good move for the community. So I just want to say thank you. I'm humbled to be here, and I'm happy to be a Clevelander today and every day. Thank you.
Director Collier, thank you for all you do for the city of Cleveland every day. I wanted to say another thank you to someone who's not with us today. It is his birthday today, and that is former superintendent of the national parks here, the Cuyahoga National Park, and that is John Debo. Let's give him a round of applause all the way down to wherever he lurks on his birthday today. In 1993, he said people were literally following their construction equipment. They wanted to get on that trail so bad. He built the first segments 35 years ago out of a study that was a part of the North Cuyahoga Valley Corridor study, looking at the Industrial Valley and how to interpret it with a project like this. Well, John, Tom, a founding director, and Tim, sort of like the three amigos, were there from the beginning. It's emotional calling up Tim Donovan. He breathes Cleveland. We once had a mutual friend that left Cleveland for another city, and he sat at the bar with me and he said, "Why would anyone leave Cleveland?" That's the spirit, Tim Donovan. He has been here through it all, a graduate from right down the street who hasn't moved far from his St. Ignatius High School. Moreover, you can find him day after day, all these days, finding a way to get it done. I'm going to editorialize for a minute. And the editorial is the hardest segment of this Towpath Trail was the city of Cleveland, obviously because of the industrial landscape that we work through. All the complicated land transactions, finding a way through, over, under, through, and around. That's what Tim Donovan dedicated himself to for over 3 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, the first executive director of Canal Way Partners, Tim Donovan.
Thank you, Chris. Can you hear me out? Oh, there you go. I gotta eat that microphone. The date was July 4th, 2001. My cell phone rang at 8 a.m. that morning. And on the other end was the voice of a friend's daughter, Sarah Hudacek. She had a question: was I with her dad the day before? My answer was no. I was with him 2 days before. We did a 40-mile bike ride on breaking in Bob's new bike. But I wasn't with him the night before. I later learned that the night before, Bob had chosen to ride his bike from our neighborhood in Old Brooklyn downtown to see the fireworks. And on the way there, in crossing over the Lorraine Carnegie Bridge, a sudden rainstorm came down as he approached the crest of the bridge, and unbeknownst and unseen by him and the woman driving the car, they met on a head-on accident. So anyway, I asked Sarah, what can I do? She said that they're restricting visitation to family only, but considered me part of the family. And I went and saw Bob about an hour later in Metro Health Hospital. He was laid out. He had tubes coming from every which way. I'll be honest with you, I'm a hypochondriac, and I was freaking out walking into his room. As I walked into the room, Bob reacted violently. His upper torso, he tried to speak through the tube in his mouth, and it became apparent quite quickly that my presence there was bringing a reaction that no one wanted to have. So I left, I exited the room. 2 days later I came back, and Bob had taken enough progress that they had taken the tubes out of his mouth and he was able to talk. He asked me to come closer, and he said to me, "Tim, build the towpath and use me. Use me. Use a tragedy that was going to lead to an ultimate physical and personal challenge. And on that occasion, selfless as he was thinking about how he might be able to contribute in any way possible to building the towpath. Use me." Well, I made a promise to him that day that we would complete the Towpath Trail. And I was able to use that example of courage to keep me focused, keep me tenacious in getting this project done. Now it's been, if you remember the date here, 2001, we're nearly July 4th, 2021. So it took 20 years to make this happen. And I can tell you there's a lot of people that wish it would have taken a lot quicker thing, and I'm one of those people. But it's just the nature of the beast, the nature of the game here. Steve Litz here, he wrote a series of articles about the North Cuyahoga Valley Corridor, as it was called back then, or the Ohio and Erie Canal Corridor. And in his writing, he challenged us to be more than just a 10-foot wide strip of asphalt that somehow winds its way through the river valley, but to use it as an exercise that would, again, reveal, heal nature, culture, history, recreation, and scenic qualities of our landscape that flows along this river. In talking to Steve just a little while ago, I said, I think we heard your challenge, make it more, and I think we've delivered. And that delivery comes from a group of great organizations and people involved from Metro Parks and the county and NOACA and ODOT and city planning, and last but certainly not least, Canal Way Partners. We all came together, we stuck to it, and I hope you enjoy the product that we have brought you today. I'm not going to stay here too long because it's kind of hot and sunny. At least it was. But the one thing I will say to you all is that we're not done. People talk about connector trails, and there's many that are being built. But more importantly, we now have a trail that leads to an enhanced parking lot that we call Canal Basin Park. We need to go and address the future of that space. And that future, I would suggest, is one buried and rooted in interpretation, to tell those national stories of significance where our city has played a major role. Story of a canal, story of a Gilded Age, and the story of a river that caught fire, and how we reacted to that story with legislation and programs that have now cleaned it up so it's safe for us all to use. I thank you for your time here, and at this point I'll leave the microphone to our next speaker. Thank you.
Not enough can be said about Tim Donovan's role and his tireless focus. He kept saying, build the trail, build the trail, build the trail. And I am appreciative that Council President Kelly, Councilman McCormick, and Councilman Brancatelli were here, because Tim's reference to the neighborhood connectors and Fred's reference to equity is what it's all about, making these connections, continuing to make them. Bob Hudacek, as Tim referenced, used to live right on West 14th at the Pelton Place Apartments. I only remember that running his only council campaign. This didn't exist. there wasn't any of this connector to the neighborhood to something more. But it ultimately happened. Some of the tireless work of Tim that happened behind the scenes was work like getting Steelyard Commons, a couple miles from here, TIF'd, such that the tax increment financing could actually build more of the trail. That's what came out of Tim's head to get it done, connecting neighborhoods through creative will. I want to quickly read a paragraph from a letter that's signed by Senator Sherrod Brown today, who couldn't be here but sent this. He said, Congressman Ralph Regula and I worked on this project for years while we served together in the House, when bipartisanship wasn't a forgotten word. It was an honor to join my former colleague from the other side of the aisle, environmental activists, business leaders, and Cleveland boosters on July 30th, 2012, to announce the groundbreaking at Scranton Road Peninsula. Though we wish Ralph were here today, I'm sure he would appreciate all of the hard work that has gone into this completion of this project. Congratulations to all on today's event. I wish you all the best in the years to come, Senator Sherrod Brown. Thank you, Senator. Well, Tim made a brief reference to the metro parks. They continue to deliver. We are lucky in the last few weeks to have seen many ribbon cuttings and to witness many more in the weeks ahead. By memory, and I'm sure I'm missing some, but the Red Line Greenway, just ribbon was cut. Thanks to Metro Parks, Lenny, and a lot of others. Thank you for making that happen. We're about to see the Whiskey Island connector from Edgewater. A ribbon will be cut. We're about to see the Wendy Park Bridge from the north end of the flats get over the river, Old River Channel, and over the tracks with the bridge that's about to be built. How many more things can they deliver this summer of 2021? But they're a huge part of today's delivery, so it's my honor to bring up the Chief Planning Officer for the Cleveland Metro Parks and a lot of his team out here today. Thank you, team. Sean McDermott.
Thanks, Chris. It's great to see everybody. On behalf of our CEO, Brian Zimmerman, our Board of Park Commissioners, and Judge Anthony J. Russo, we're so pleased to be here today as a partner on the Towpath Trail. This project really emulates how partnerships can result in actually executing and moving our region forward. The work and effort that was put in by all the partners is evident, and as we've heard a few times, it's time to do more. Metro Parks, City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, Canal Way Partners, NOACA, and District 12. Monthly, we met to figure out how to make incremental progress on this project, and we're so happy to be here as part of that. It did take some time, and good ideas stand the test of time. This project took perseverance. We saw many people retire during the process of this project. We saw staff changes, but again, because of the strength of the idea, because of the strength of the project, we're here today at a grand opening. Is Dick Kerber in the audience somewhere? Dick Kerber? Okay, where do we have Dick? Dick Kerber for Cleveland Metro Parks for years made sure that this project came to fruition, working with Michael Baker International, the engineer for this section. The solutions that had to be overcome on really each stage of the towpath could not have been done without teamwork and without Dick's leadership. So if we can get a round of applause for Dick, thank you. The towpath really is and does act as our regional spine. It is our main street of trails. And as we've seen the trail development in Cleveland, it's no coincidence that last year Cleveland Metro Parks had its record attendance here at 19.7 million recreational visits. And we see that a lot of those visitors to our parks are coming for this purpose. They're coming for trails, they're coming for interconnectivity, and they want to have that interconnected experience. As Chris said, in the next few weeks, we will open the Whiskey Island Connector Trail, we will open the Wendy Park Bridge, we've just opened the Red Line Greenway. Several years ago, we opened the Cleveland Foundation Centennial Lake Link Trail. None of those projects would have been possible without the towpath. None of those projects would have been interconnected without the towpath. So the importance of this day and this trail is not lost. In the same token, we collectively are not done. Slavic Village Connector, Mill Creek Connector, Big Creek Connector, West Creek Greenway, Canal Basin Park, Brighton Park. All of these connections, all of these trails are a result of the effort here on the towpath. We're ready to be a partner. This has been a great project. We're looking forward to doing more. Thank you so much. We're ready to maintain the trail. So thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Thanks for all you do. Tim Donovan asked for a personal point of privilege. He said, are you inviting Tom up to say anything? Tom, you want to say anything? All right. Tom Yablonsky is the founder of all of this, founding director. He's got history on his sleeve, literally, and history in his blood. Tom, a couple words from you.
Just a couple things. I wasn't prepared to speak, but I thought of some people who were really pivotal at key points that weren't mentioned yet. One of those is Stan Kozaleski, who I think is here, who was with the county, I guess, Public Works Department, used to be the county engineer's office. So I really want to reach out because I know many times when we hit a fork in the road, it was Stan who really pushed the ball forward. Secondly, just a commercial for some of the program. One of the programs Tim and I created that originally was only Tim and I, so it couldn't happen too often. It was called Take a Hike. That took on its own life when Cuyahoga County Arts and Culture was created. So I just want to invite you. It's now in its 13th year. There are hikes every day of the week except Monday. So please look that up because that allows us to explore and experience the National Heritage Area. So one of the areas we're not done is, besides building the physical place, is programming the physical place. And that leads us to my last comment so you understand the tenacity. We hope we're just as tenacious as Tim was with the towpath, and Mira will now be with Canal Basin Park. As Tim always noted, it's a place in our geography and the only place where 3 national designations combine. It's part of an American Heritage River, it's part of a National Scenic Byway, and it's part of a National Heritage Area. It's a very special place. We can tell the environmental story of the country. Tim used to say we're the Selma of the environmental movement. We can tell the industrial creation story that Cleveland is really a unique place. There's a book that claims only 5 times in world history that a place happened where a number of factors came together. And they talked about the literature of Elizabethan England and the greatness of Athenian Greece with philosophy. And one of those 5 places was Cleveland with industrial energy, creativity. We were the city of light, Charles Brush. We were the city of innovation, of industrial change with John D. Rockefeller. And this towpath and this National Heritage Area celebrate that. So we have a lot to still do and a lot that's very important to do. But I really thank you for all being here and recognizing the role of countless hundreds of people that have made this happen. Thank you.
Our founder, Tom Yablonsky. Thank you, Tom. One more speaker and one more order of business, item of business. Mary Serby has a walk-on resolution that she wants to present from this week's Trail Conference. She is our county planning director. And so welcome, Mary Serby.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Yes, I'm a walk-on, but this is hot off the presses from this week's Trails and Greenways Conference that is still underway. So on behalf of the County Planning Commission, the Greater Cleveland Trails and Greenways Conference, we'd like to present a gold medal to the Canalway partners and all of the key partners involved in these towpath extension, trail extension for expanding off-road connections to Lake Erie, to the metro parks, to our national park, with interpretive features which highlight Cleveland's past and present industrial river valley, and for connecting Cleveland's neighborhoods with the city's cultural and natural treasures. So thank you to all that have been involved in this, and congratulations on your gold medal award here. So thank you.
Let me ask Diana, David, Tom, Tim, Connor, anybody else out there on the board? Come on up real quick. Diana, come on up.
I forgot one other person should be recognized.
Go ahead.
I just want to recognize one other person because Scranton Flats was the first part of stage 4 that got done. And Scranton Flats, with Tim's effort, his major partner in making that happen was Dave Vassarelli. And I really want to recognize that because it could not have been done without their their diligence and their passion, because I saw firsthand their negotiation with John Furchel and the Wolstein Group, which, as Tim would note, was not simple.
Here's to Dave. Thank you. And Mira, where are you? Come on up. All right, everybody, remember this person, Mira Cardenas. She is your new executive director and was just given the steep challenge of getting Canal Basin Park done, which is going to be the central park in the flats. Come on through, board members, and I'm going to give this to you. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, board members, for all your work. And let's give them a round of applause. I want to, before bringing up our last speaker, thank all the Community Development Corporation directors who are here today. Thank you for being out there. You are also the blockers and tacklers that help get this done with all the persons up here, city council and county reps. Thank you for all you do in the Cleveland neighborhoods to make this all connect. Well, I would like to bring up, thank you board members, I'll let you guys go because we have one more speaker, and that is the CEO of NOACA, Northern Ohio Area-Wide Coordinating Agency. Grace Scallucci also finds a way to connect monies back to Cleveland, to Cuyahoga County, and to this region. She has her eye on our neighborhoods, and with projects that aren't just about curb-to-curb automobile projects, about these kinds of projects that matter, like the Towpath Trail. Grace Scallucci from NOACA.
Thank you very much, Chris. It is my pleasure to be here today representing the NOACA Board. The NOACA Board, we are the Metropolitan Planning Organization of Greater Cleveland, and we are celebrating this final phase of the Towpath Trail. I have a few board members here today. We have Armin Budish, we have Freddie Collier. I think I saw President Kelly, Council, there you are. Thank you to all of the board members, present and past, who made this project happen. This project demonstrates and represents the boldness and the vision of the NOACA Board. We are responsible for multimodal transportation planning. Multimodal, not just cars, not just buses and rail, not just bikes, but people walking. All of it working together in harmony. I want to thank specifically Mayor Jackson, as I believe he has been the mayor for the majority of the time this is underway and have been planned, and his representative on the NOACA board, Valerie McCall. You know, I want to say, you know, I have a number of statements here. I had 3 different staff members write notes for me to bring up today, and I ripped them all apart to say, well, I think I want to say this, and I think I want to say that, and I think I want to say this, because there's so much to say about this project and about the role that multimodal transportation plays in connecting communities. So planners have known for a long time that trails and green spaces play a vital part in the transportation network and in connecting our neighborhoods. Trails make our communities more livable, more desirable. They strengthen our economy. They improve our health. And for these reasons, the Towpath Trail represents a substantial asset for Northeast Ohio. For those of us who understand that direct link between the quality of place and the quality of life, trails play a central role in sustaining and growing our communities. NOACA is pleased to have made the Towpath Trail a reality. Over the last several years, NOACA has directed nearly $30 million of its federal funds to the Towpath Trail. That is the single largest investment in any project of any mode that NOACA has put its funding towards. That says a lot. It says a lot. It's more than bridges, a single bridge, which I think the largest bridge project we contributed to is about $20-some million, larger than the BRT, which was, I think, $10 or $15 million. This is a significant investment for many reasons. In addition to connecting neighborhoods and providing all of the amenities we talked about, this allows us in many ways to make some type of restitution to the damage that was done to neighborhoods as a result of transportation planning and implementation efforts during the highway construction era. So this allows us to look at that and say, we recognize some of those consequences and some of the quality of life that was impacted. We can look back and say, how do we look forward and make this better? So it does demonstrate NOACA's commitment to using transportation dollars for those multimodal projects that improve our quality of life. You know, 7.5 million is what NOACA contributed to this phase here, phase 4. But again, looking at, and I heard the $54 million talked about a lot today, and I don't think I've ever heard that number before. That's huge. That's a lot of money the region has invested. And NOACA is glad to be part of that. We utilized federal congestion mitigation and air quality dollars, or CMAQ dollars, and that's a program that provides funding for transportation projects located in the largest urban areas that are in non-attainment with federal EPA standards for air quality. That includes Northeast Ohio. That's not good news that we're not in attainment, but it does allow us to look at the solutions to get us in attainment, the solutions for recognizing the causes of air pollution, which right now the majority of air pollution is caused by mobile emissions. So this towpath trail demonstrates that transportation infrastructure and the environment can coexist and thrive. It offers alternatives to the single occupancy vehicle. Why is that important? Because getting cars off the road can reduce congestion, therefore improving air quality for all of us in Northeast Ohio, whether you use the trail or not. That's a win-win for everyone. So finally, I want to emphasize that the Towpath Trail is a true collaborative effort amongst many partners, many agencies, many individuals. NOACA is pleased to be part of that collaboration. You know, the funding is important, and we recognize that many people love us for our money, and that's okay. We recognize that role. But there's so much more that goes into a project. That's only one part of it. So special thanks to the colleagues and friends who've supported the project through designing it, building it, which means building the physical infrastructure as well as building the coalition and the community around it, maintaining it, and all of the other kinds of activities that go into this. I also want to recognize some ghosts past from the NOACA board, and such as Howard Mayer, my predecessor, Paul Alcinas, who was Mary's predecessor, Hunter Morrison, who was Freddie Collier's predecessor. It just shows you that this has taken so long, and there has been so many people that have contributed to this. And lastly, I do want to thank NOACA staff. You know, many people, as I said, love us for our money, and so therefore we're often a silent partner. But we also have staff who are not just silent partners, they're invisible partners. You don't see them, but they play a very significant role in getting these projects done. And I see Randy Lane from our staff here. So thanks to Randy and his staff, like Ed May, who have worked diligently over the years to ensure that we didn't lose the project funding, even after all the delays, and that we kept moving forward. So thank you all, and have a great day. This is a beautiful day to enjoy this. Chris, back to you.
Great. Thank you, Grace. Tim reminded me while we were sitting here, and Grace referenced this, that this is the first project in the state of Ohio where air quality mitigation money through an MPO like NOACA went into a project. First in the state of Ohio. Thank you again, Grace, for being bold with the way you fund projects. I want to, as we close out, thank nearby residents. I see Eric Cooper, Pete, all of you who live within a few blocks of the trail, give a wave. Thank you for realizing, many of you, thank you for realizing the greater good for community benefit. We appreciate you guys. A lot of construction activity, but we're here, and this place matters. I want to thank the kids who are here. One of my own sons up the hill there, but our kids, thank you guys. I want you guys to be there at the ribbon cutting because, as a former Secretary of Education once said, you are 10% of the population and 100% of our future. So this is about you and your future. Let's keep connecting, let's keep collaborating, and let's build Canal Basin Park so that the vision will be complete from New Philadelphia all the way north to Cleveland, Ohio, right at where it all began in that pivot place that Tom referenced, where really the American Industrial Center was and is today. We've still got legacy right here to interpret and to work at and to make our quality of life better and better. So we are going to, at Mira's organizing lead, find our way down toward the cannon. If you didn't know there was a cannon on site, there is, and it is near the white ribbon. But just as Governor Todd came up this hill in 1862, we're going to go down this hill and we're going to cut a ribbon, and we're going to realize after all these years, from 1862 forward, this place matters. This place continues to get better and better and better because of things like the Towpath Trail. Give yourselves a round of applause and let's go cut the ribbon. All of you, just show up and let's do it. Thanks everybody. Thanks for being here today.
All of our speakers, if they can. All right, we will get one. Standing Lance, Grace Galucci.
Where are they?
If not scissors, he'll stand in the picture. Stand in the center. Pick your weapon.
That was fun.
Hey Chris, you want any city folk up here?
Yeah, come on.
This is a weapon.
Somebody needs to hold up the center.
Where's Tim?
Joey, we need some kids in here. Come on, Mira. Where's Tim? Where's Tim? Come on, Tim. We're not starting without you. Where's Tim? Yeah. Tim, come on up. All right. Tell me when.
One, two,
Three.
Button up the net and USA too. All right.
We can cut it up and folks can take it.
Keep away from here.
We have some water and snacks if people are social places.